let's talk about school dance marketing. So it is mid-August and school dance season is right around the corner. Homecoming season is almost here. So I am going to give my best tip of how to get more school dances. This is what I do for marketing for school dances. I've been doing it for over 10 years and I feel like it works pretty good. I feel like I get a good return on investment. You know, we're in a digital age, so everybody thinks, I need to do Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram's where everybody is, Snapchat, Twitter, But I feel like people are so numb to those advertisements that if somebody's not specifically thinking in their head like, I need a school dance DJ, and they're scrolling through and your ad pops up, they're just going to scroll right by it. Like, that's kind of my thoughts on it. And especially like at schools, a lot of times it's not like one person that's like, hey, this is who I'm going to hire. Like, there's a student council that decides, they have a meeting. And so I feel like it's best to get information into the hands of the people that are at the meeting. And you could drive to every school, bring an info packet, figure out who's in charge. You could do that, but I feel like it wastes a lot of time. I like direct blanket marketing. It's like firing a shotgun, but where each pellet's targeted. So I'm a huge fan of direct mail, and that may make me sound like a dinosaur, but I'm not doing just generic shotgun marketing where I'm just shooting direct mail everywhere and hoping it sticks somewhere. I'm specifically targeting, I do postcards because it's cheap. So I'm specifically targeting each school. Like, I know exactly who I want to mail to. So I'm being very direct with my blanket marketing. And realistically, when I send out a direct mail campaign for schools, like if I send out 100 cards, I will usually book 2 to 3 dances. And when you're thinking, cost to print and mail 100 postcards, 40 cents a card maybe, 45 cents a card, it's pretty cheap. Like, when you think 100 cards, send them out, 45 bucks. Say you're even getting like the cheapest possible school dance you could get, 2 speakers and a gig bar and you're getting 500 bucks. Maybe you're getting 400 bucks. If you're booking, let's just say 400. If you're booking 3 of those, that's 1,200 bucks. It costs you $45 to mail it out. That's a pretty good return on investment, considering when we talk about wedding shows, which I might start doing some videos on those because wedding shows will be coming up soon. I don't think wedding shows have a very good return on investment. A lot of times when I get a $600 wedding show booth, I cross my fingers and hope I book one dance so that I cover the cost of doing that show. Not a huge fan of wedding shows. I don't think they have a very good return on investment. Direct mail, on the other hand, I think it's got a pretty good return on investment. I'm not saying every show is going to just be a $400 dance. Typically my postcard is pretty simple. In big letters I have like school dance special, and usually it's a discounted price that's a smaller show that's easier for me to crank out a bunch of them. But then, I'm also targeting big schools too, and a lot of people don't want that small show. So I'll usually have like a mobile club package at a, bring the wow factor with our mobile club dance package. And that's the big package. That's the one, I definitely would like to sell a couple of those. And, I do book a few of those. So you're not just targeting the cheap ones, but with the blanket marketing, I definitely try to hit both price points. The cheap one, because, some schools, we do them and they only have 50 kids going to them. They're not going to spend $2,000 on a dance package. But then, you market to some of the bigger schools, they don't want that little package because it's not going to work. So you got to have the bigger package for them too. But what's the easiest way to get a school list? That's where I think people might not know. Do you just sit there and Google every school, like Fargo High School, Moorhead High School? No, that takes forever. And here's the tip for direct mail. Typically every state website, like nd.gov, will have a list of every single school, and it's usually in CSV format or Excel format. And CSV format can easily be transferred to Excel or opened up with Excel. And then usually, like, it's all broken down for you. You know, a little bit of sifting through, a little bit of sorting, a little bit of cutting and pasting, because I like to spread everything out. Like normally, you know, you'll have your kindergarten, preschool, kindergarten schools. Some will say K through 6, some will be middle school, some will be high school, some will be K through high school. You know, I like to go through the list, copy, paste, and break them down into different sheets. So I have a specific, these are all my high schools. And then what I typically do is I'll, you know, sort alphabetically by town, and I'll go to Google and I'll type in mapping in Google, Fargo, and then I'll type in, you know, next one, Grand Forks or whatever, and then I'll make another column that says miles, and I'll calculate how far each school is from Fargo. And when I do that, then I will usually sort, because a lot of my school dance marketing, I will target schools within 200 miles of Fargo. So then that's typically my mail campaign, and I maybe send out 120, 140 postcards, and I'll usually book a few dances off of it. And I'll do that a couple times a year. I'll do one for homecoming season. I'll maybe do one mailer right after the first of the year. Maybe another one towards the end of the year if I really want to target prom. But usually around prom time, I send out a specific prom card. Because on the address, you know, you'll have the name of the school, the address, city, state, zip. Up above, if I'm sending to a school for regular dances, I'll usually just address it to like school dance coordinator, and then whoever gets the mail will usually be like, oh, student council, and put it in their mailbox. And that's typically how I do that. It's the same person that's called 3 times, in case you're wondering, so I'm probably going to wrap up this video pretty quick so I can give them a call back. But then for a prom targeted one, I will address it to, you know, prom coordinator. So anyways, that is the tip. What I use, that's how I get school dances. Sometimes I slack a little. You know, you really got to figure out when is the best time to mail for homecoming season, because a lot of times I do it too late, sometimes I do it too early. You know, that one's a little tricky. But if you're regularly sending out a couple mailers each year, the great thing about it is if you book a school for homecoming, chances are they're going to book you for winter formal if you do a good job. They might book you for prom if you did a good job. You know, we've got schools where we've done them for years. Like, that's the great thing about school dances, is once you're in, you're pretty much in unless you really mess something up. So, you know, that's the great thing about it, is like I'm talking about sending out 100 postcards, booking 3 dances. You might book those same 3 schools for the next 10 years. It's an insane return on investment. Way better than anything you're going to have for marketing for a wedding, because weddings are typically one and done. Occasionally, I mean, I have done a second wedding for somebody before, but you usually don't get repeat customers on a wedding dance. With schools, you do, and that's what makes them so profitable. If you have any questions, throw it down in the comments section. I'm going to give this guy a call back or just answer this phone call. Have a good day.